And now we are in the second session of webinars for international workers and international organizations. This is an initiative that was launched by ICF Switzerland, and I'm delighted to be the coordinator of this project. My name is Saba Imru Mathieu. I'm an executive leadership coach. This is a short space that we have to listen to another stellar presenter, Veronica de la Fuente. We have a very interesting topic that Veronica is going to present. It's about interculturality, diversity, equity, inclusion. This is something that she has specialized in. She's a great globetrotter, so she'll give you a lot of practical insights on how we can leverage our cultural differences in international settings. So, Veronica, I'm going to leave you the floor so that you can tell a little bit more about yourself and start your presentation.
Okay, thank you, Sarah. Thank you very much. And I'm very happy to be with you and with the audience today to speak about two subjects that are my passion. Exploring cultural differences. This is the invitation for today. And before that, as you asked me to introduce a little bit myself, what I am. You see three countries that have shaped my identity in my life. So the first one is Chile. It's my original country. I was born, I grew up in Chile. So you can feel my Spanish accent speaking English. The second one is Switzerland. I came to Switzerland 25 years ago. I got married with a Swiss guy. And after we moved to Brazil. In Brazil, we spent 11 years. And I have changed my areas of professional area. I started my professional career in finance in Chile, in bank, working a lot in financial sector. But in Brazil, I discovered this fantastic world of interculturality and also coaching. So this is the two areas that I have worked for a long time, interculturally for over 20 years, and in coaching for over 15 years. So how we connect intercultural and coaching. No? And the first thing that I would like to mention here, intercultural have different meanings. What is the meaning that I would like to share with you? What is important when we work in an international organization? It's about intercultural. It's about the interaction between people from different cultures, two or different cultures, people or group of different cultures. What happened in this interaction? And the idea or the desire is that this interaction will be horizontal and synergic because this is favorize the integration and harmonious coexistence of all the people in a group. So when we talk in intercultural or interculturality in this context, we're talking about a relationship. And this is very important because intercultural intelligence, intercultural competence is about relationship. So how integrate coaching in this context, in this setting? So maybe you hear about different definition of coaching in other intervention in this webinar series. So, but what mean coaching in this context? Coaching, what do coaching in this context? Coaching help people, individuals, managers, leaders, teams to navigate fluently in different intercultural contexts and situations. And how coaching do that is by developing intercultural intelligence. So I presume if you work in international organization, probably your experience with cultural difference is all day. All day you are exposed and you experience your cultural difference because your colleagues, your people around you came from different cultures. So maybe in this way you are developing this cultural intelligence without knowing. But what I would like to invite you maybe to reflect in some aspect of this cultural intelligence and how you can develop more skill or be more aware about this experience and how you can transform this experience, connecting with this kind of cultural intelligence to be more efficient or more, more aware when you are in interaction with other people. So let's and when we put together intercultural and coaching, we are talking about intercultural coaching, which is one of the expertise in coaching. So you can have a coaching for developing leadership, expertise in coaching organization. So intercultural coaching, what means is how we, with coaching, we help people to connect better in intercultural or multicultural setting. So let's explain what intercultural intelligence is. And this is the definition that you can find everywhere. The most common definition about intercultural intelligence is the ability to adapt and act effectively in different cultural challenges or conflicts. And this needs to be simple, but it's not simple. Behind that, there are a lot of things to do. Before to understand better what intercultural intelligence is, I would like to ask you, and you can put in the chat, what it might be important to develop intercultural intelligence in people or in your organization. For example, the idea to maintain harmonious relationship, what is part of this objective of intercultural intelligence. For international organization, understand to navigate this different culture because you are connecting with difference all day here in Geneva, but also in the fields. So when you develop your cultural intelligence in team or in individual, it's help to create synergy, complementarity, creativity, and innovation. We always hear that multicultural teams perform better because they are more creative, or they are more complementary, or they are have more synergy in between the member of the team. But this is happen only when we have this kind of intercultural intelligence development in the team or in people. So to prevent the misunderstanding and facilitate the resolution. It's a leadership competence today. Multicultural team cohesion and organization performance. It helps to create sustainable DIB culture, where B is mean belonging, as Monica pointed out. Many others. So we experience that today we demand to people in organization, companies, that the leaders, managers need to develop three kinds of intelligence at work. The first one is cognitive intelligence, which is mean connected with the work that you do, your function. This connected intelligence could be all the technical skills that you need to develop to perform your work, but also this kind of how you resolve problems, how you create this connection with creating some kind of soft skills too. And after we more and more is enter in organization this kind of emotional intelligence. After the pandemic, we see that it's being more important now for people or for organization to include this emotional intelligence at work. And don't separate this kind of people are their emotional state at home, and here we come to for do another thing. No, see, emotional intelligence have a place today in organization and companies, and also intercultural intelligence, especially when you are working in different and in multicultural setting, as mentioned before. So. What is how we can develop this intercultural intelligence? We start developing first a competence, and a competence means that we need to have three kind of elements to create this competence. The first one is knowledge. What to know? For every competence what we develop, we need to create this knowledge and what we need to know to a specific subject to create a competence. So in terms of interculturality, it's everything that helps you to understand, to read, to decode, to interpret cultural differences. So could be concept, model, tools. I will show you today a model and tool that maybe help to you to understand these differences. A specific information. If you don't have time to read a book about cultural differences, maybe a good conversation with your colleague about cultural things is part of this knowledge that you gain when you have conversation, try to understand in something. This is part of to create this knowledge in intercultural intelligence competence. And the second one, the second element is being, how I am practicing this competence, how I am when I am cultural competent. So being is connected with the attitude that people need to develop or to create more sustainable relationship. So in this being and this attitude, we will put some other elements. The first one is cultural self-awareness. If we are not aware who we are as the cultural part of our being, it's easy to lose yourself in multicultural context. And also when you are self-aware of your culture that shape your identity and you are self-aware about yourself completely, not only culturally, you are more free to make decisions. You are more equipped to face situations. So you cannot lose in these different cultural contexts. So cultural self-awareness is very important to develop. And after some attitude, the most important attitude here in terms of intercultural competence is curiosity, openness, flexibility, adaptation. And there another important element in this being is how we relate. Sometimes we relate with cultural difference in terms of our emotional and cognitive barriers. And this is cognitive and emotional barrier are our assumptions. We see people or we relate with people based in our assumptions that I have from this cultural group, our biases or our stereotype, or our prejudice in terms of I have related with other groups. So all these elements are being part of the being, and we need to work in ourselves to become more self-awareness, develop this attitude, and to break this emotional and cognitive barriers. The first aspect of this competence is a skill, how to do. And how to do, for sure, we will develop our cross-cultural skill. We have culturally, we are very shaped, and maybe we don't feel, but we are very shaped in by culture in how is our style of leadership, how is our style of communication, how we empathize with people, what meaning empathize with someone also have a cultural influence. How we make decisions have a cultural component. How we organize a meeting also have cultural components. So this kind of thing, to be aware and how I can adapt this preference, cultural preference, to a situation. This is when you're using the skill, how to do it. Yeah? We pass to knowledge, to be, and how to do. So, for example, if you need to lead a team, an homogeneous team in other culture, maybe your leadership style that you are very used to in your culture and makes sense for you and makes sense for the collaborator, maybe it's not makes sense in another cultural context. So maybe you need to ask the question, okay, what do I need to adapt in my leadership style? What I need to adapt in my communication style? So this is when we are using the skill and we are relating how to do. So here we have a competence, but to create this intelligence is practice, practice, practice. You have the competence. If you have the competence, if you don't practice, more your practices, more you become more easily using, are more used to, are more flexible with this competence. So practice is important. And another important element that you need to put in this intercultural intelligence is the context. So maybe when you use this competence in one context, it's not mean you can use in the same way to another context. So context is really important to create this intercultural intelligence. So the invitation was to exploring cultural differences, and I spoke a lot about intercultural intelligence. Before that, I would like to invite you. I will show you. I will present a model where we can see how we develop this cultural intelligence in the model, but also the main objective of this model is to present how people relate with cultural differences and how people have the experience of difference in their life and in their context. So before that, I would like, this is a personal reflection, that you think in a situation at work with a person from different culture than yours, or think maybe in your multicultural team, and write down what is your current challenge with this person, or what is your current challenge, cultural challenge with this team. Take a minute to reflect on take a situation that you are facing now, maybe, or in the past, or that you have a challenge with the person from a different culture of yours, or with your multicultural team. The idea is you think about the situation when I am presenting the model in a couple of minutes. Now, I will introduce you this model, the model of intercultural sensitivity, created by Dr. Milton Bennett. And this model is a model that explains how people experience and engage with cultural differences. It's not a model that the vision that I have of cultural differences. It's the experience of people facing intercultural differences. So the model have two big phases. The first one is ethnocentrism. In ethnocentric phase, the people interpreted reality from their own cultural lens, their own cultural experience, their own cultural background. So it tends to perceive different or judge different sometimes negatively, or minimize the cultural difference, or they are not interested in people from different from them. Ethnocentrism means that you learn, or you are more comfortable facing homogeneous group or people similar to you. And this is happening because I have ignorance about others. We don't know others. We don't have the experience sometimes of others, what differences. We are not interested in others. This is the more ethnocentrism experience of phase. And after the second phase is ethno-relativism. In ethno-relativism, it's interesting because the people can change and from the mindset, and they become more interested in know people and know them culturally. They accept cultural differences They like these cultural differences. They are willing to understand more about the different people or different groups. They are more willing to adapt some behaviors. They want to integrate with these people. So in interrelativity, we are really developing these cultural competencies or cultural intelligence. We are in the mood of being open. We have this coach-chiefing. The coach-chiefing is, I explained before, that maybe in some settings you are a cultural leadership don't fit with another group. So this is kind of, I am shifting my behavior, or shifting or adapting my behavior to other contexts. And we are developing this kind of attitude. They realize, also the people realize, or the group realize that there are different ways to see the world. It's not my way. They could be very different vision of the world, and they are all valid as my vision. So in this model, each phase we have 3 stages. In the ethnocentrism phase, we have the first stage is denial. And denial is people who don't see, or don't want to see cultural differences. For them, cultural difference is something very blue. We have the idea is, okay, we see we are different from one, European are different from Asian people, but Asian are all the same. So they are not very distinctly knowledge or approach to see these cultural differences. My cultural experience is the only that is real and valid. And we are not interested in know more or experience, have the experience with people from different cultures. The second one, this model, is defense. And this is it's a typical stage where sometimes multicultural teams have working together. Because in the defense, we see cultural differences. We see we are different. We perceive this different. We have the experience of differences, but we see this difference as a menace. The brain have this kind of mode that when we see different, we approach this as a menace. And in this defense also, we are seeing people, as mentioned before, that this kind of barriers. We interpret people, we relate people, but basic in our belief, on our biases, or our stereotype that we have from this cultural group or the cultural person. So we divide this us and them. We have in this mode us and them, and we are not connected with. And we defend for sure the way why we do things around here. So this is my way. In this context, we do think we are not interested to incorporate new vision or new way to do things. The first stage is minimization. And minimization is a better stage to arrive. It's better than the two first ones. So in this minimization, people try to focus in what we have in common, and we relate as a human being. We are human beings. We have the same needs, maybe the same aspiration. We work in an organization that we have the common goal. So we try in minimization to focus not on what is different, but in what unite ourselves, what we have in common. And this is a good thing because it is part of our objective as humanity, how we can behave or relate to find a common ground in our intercultural or in our interaction. But it's a tricky stage because in this moment you are not able to see cultural differences as a asset or as a benefit for the group or for the company. We try to put the cultural difference aside because we don't know how to manage these cultural differences, or how to address conversation about cultural differences. Here we are in this kind with political correct in terms of don't talk too much because could be something perceived like uncomfortable. So let's focus on what we have in common. This is the three first stage of ethnocentrism. And after we have in ethno-relative acceptance. And the acceptance, the people accept that the cultural difference exists, and this is what it is. But in acceptance, we start to develop this kind of curiosity. We are engaged to know more about the other person, to know this difference, where they come from, what is the value behind, what is the how they do in their culture, what works them well for them in terms of different aspects or different cultural preferences. So in acceptance, you are creating, or people are more open, a curiosity to understand others. So we are focused here in knowledge. Oh, sorry, this is in French. in knowledge, this is where we are using knowledge. In adaptation, we appreciate what other people do. In adaptation, we say, wow, it's fantastic how they manage this situation, how they can communicate different than me. And I start to kind of appreciation to and I incorporate in my group, in my team, different practices, different process. So if before in the other stage we talk more about the person trying to become aware and advance in the manage the cultural differences, in adaptation we are also that creating new things or new way to work. And when we hear about multicultural team perform better because they are creative, they are innovative, they are synergy, they are complementary, it's in adaptation, in this part would happen. It's not before, it's in this part would happen that. And we are developing attitudes. And finally, integration. And integration is mean when you can navigate in different cultural settings, and you are interested, and you have a skill, or you have resources, or you have a strategy to face cultural differences or cultural situation, intercultural situation, but you don't lose yourself. You are very aware of who you are, and from who you are, you can interpret, you can understand what happened with other people, with other groups, and you can create new strategic solution for situation. But also in integration, when you have in a multicultural team, you are creating your own culture. It's not mine, it's not yours, it's our culture. And this is where really we create this sense of belonging. So I asked you before to think in your cultural challenge with some people or a person or your team. And another small reflection. When you see this model, at which stage of this model do you think this person or the team is at? At which state are you related with this challenge? what will be a desirable stage to reach in this relationship? So I will put again the model. So where do you think the person is? Where you think you are in this relationship? What will be a good stage to arrive in this relationship? We will invite now to share in groups. Let's share experiences. What is my experience and the reality in my organization in relation to intercultural sensitivity? What do I observe? What do I experience? So please, I invite you to share your comment or something inside or that you discuss with your group, your peers. Please put in the chat some comment if you have an insight or question, if you have. So to finish this presentation, I would like to what we can do, where coaching can help in this path of cultural sensitivity. So, for example, coaching, we can use coaching in this when the people are in denial, in defense, because this is something that coaches do very well to help people advance in their beliefs, in their limited beliefs. Biases, stereotype, or this kind of thing are limited. They are limit belief, the partial image that we have from the other people. So coaching can help to with the person or team to advance from this stage for denial, defense to minimization. In minimization, you can use facilitation and coaching. Facilitation to create or to open the discussion to be more conscious about the subcultural differences, incorporating the group. So give the place to have a conversation about cultural differences. So facilitation and coaching could help that. In acceptance, what I mentioned before is you are more curious to understand others. So maybe you can use here training, workshop, team building. So this kind of connection to how we can understand each other culturally. Facilitation and of course coaching. And also facilitation and coaching makes sense in adaptation integration, because sometimes the people know what they need to do, but they don't know how to do. And coaching and facilitation bring this how to do to the group, to the possibility to integrate cultural difference in the team for the project, and to create this kind of integration. And the last thing that I would like to share with you, there are two rules. Maybe you hear about this rule. This is a very common rule. It is we should treat others as we would like to be treated. So this is the golden rule, but this golden rule is connected with more ethnocentric experience of the world of the differences, because it's still about myself. I put in the focus in my own experiences. So I would like, or I should treat others as I would like to be treated. So it's from my experiences. So when we pass to the ethno-relative experiences, we practice the platinum rule. We should treat others that the way they want to be treated. It's like, and this is kind of cognitive empathy. Cognitive empathy is not about relational or rational empathy. It's connected with kind, I know how other people function. It's not my way, it's their way. So I treat them how they want to be treated, which is different than my perspective, or which is different than my experience. So I invite you, sometimes we need to use the golden rule, but in other situation, we can use and practice the platinum rule.
Just really want to thank Veronica. It's a real eye-opener. It's a very different presentation from what we usually see on culture and, with the dimensions, Hofstede's dimensions and so on. This is a very new concept, and it's very, very applicable. And that's what I really enjoyed. And so I really want to thank you for being there, for being one of the very active members of the ICF Switzerland initiative for International Coaching Week. To the audience, I will tell you that please, you can connect with Veronica on our website where it says coaches or speakers. You'll find her profile and her LinkedIn URL, but you can just simply type in her name and you'll find her. Do connect with her. So thank you very much, Veronica.
Thank you for inviting me, and it was a pleasure.
Bye-bye, Veronica, and see you soon.
Thank you very much.